I'm going to another question, which is a frequent asked question, the question of passport. I know many people want to understand the issue of passport. I'm starting with what is the requirement and how does that work into this particular lottery. When we say the diversity visa lottery requirement, this is the new requirement which was introduced in the DV2021, meaning in 2019 application in October, the US government introduced the usage of passport. First of all, it has to be an expired passport. You cannot use a passport which has expired. That's number one. By expiration, I mean the date which is there. I will come to answer some of the questions for people in East Africa when it comes to the passport. The question usually they want to know is if my passport, because for instance Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda and Sudan, they have new passport. If the new passport which we are going to introduce, the government said is going to be expiring in January or October, or in Tanzania has like we are not using right now this one, but my passport is still valid for 2 more years, can I use this passport? I'm going to answer that one. So when we say there is a passport usage, the passport is only for the main applicant. Does that make sense? The passport requirement doesn't affect, they don't require passport for the derivatives, doesn't require passport for the dependents. Let's say I'm married, I have kids. If I'm going to apply as many applicants, I'm going to apply as many applicants with a passport. I'll put Ernest Boniface Makulilo, main applicant, my name, date of birth, passport issued, passport, I put the information. I will say I'm married to Marie Makulilo. I'll put her information. But because Marie, I'm going to put there as a dependent, as a derivative, my wife doesn't need to have a passport to be included in the diversity visa lottery. When I say I have 3 kids, Benedict, Claire, and Faustina, the children don't need to have passport to be included in the application. You know why? It is a very simple reason. Those people are not applicant. They are going to be by default. If you win, they are coming with you. So the main applicant, principal applicant, is the one who is going to put the all information. All other people, spouse and the children, don't need to have passport. But the other thing is, what if your spouse also has a passport, your wife has a passport, or your husband has a passport? In that situation, the husband is going to apply, married to so and so, is going to be included in the application. Then the spouse is going to apply as many applicants, is married to so and so, is going to put the information. Because at that point, the husband is going to be many applicant and the wife is going to be many applicant. You have 2 chances of applying and 2 chances of winning. But don't apply twice. So that is something I want to make sure we understand about the passport as a requirement. It doesn't require the people who are dependents. It is only referring to people who are main applicants. Again, you cannot apply for the diversity visa lottery without a passport. Yes, in the application form there is a press, there is called a waiver. In that waiver, if you are watching this video, 99.9% you don't qualify for that waiver. Why am I saying that? Because of the following. In order to apply to say that you don't have passport, and because if you say you don't have passport, you are going to process and you are going to win. I know someone in Ethiopia won and applied to say I don't have a passport, but I guarantee that person will be denied the visa. I will explain why. If you don't have a passport, make sure you go and get a passport. The application is starting today, October 7th until November 10th. If you don't get the actual passport book, go and get what we call the emergency passport. The emergency passport is nothing, it's just a piece of paper they give you. This emergency passport or temporary passport is a passport you are using to travel around neighboring country, the neighboring country of your region. If you are in ECOWAS in West Africa, if you are in Ghana, you want to travel to Cameroon, or you are in Liberia, you want to travel to neighboring country, Gabon, whatever it is, you can get the passport because you have bilateral contract between one country and another. So it's a temporary passport, which is a piece of paper. In Kenya, you can apply, you can get within 2 days. In Tanzania, you can apply and get it 2 days. In Rwanda, the same thing. In Uganda, the same thing. Is a passport, temporary passport, to travel around East Africa, travel around West Africa in that particular region. The only thing you have to apply, you say you have a trip, emergency trip, they will give you, and it's very cheap. For those who are in Tanzania, it is just like $8. For those who are in Kenya, again, it's just like $8, $10 to get that passport. So it is very cheap, quicker process. Within 2, maximum 3 days, you are going to get that passport. It's just a piece of paper, but when you're going to fill the number of the emergency passport, there is what they call TP in the passport number. Don't use the word TP, start the rest of the numbers, because TP is standing for temporary passport. So you just put the numbers. If you put it with a TP, it will not accept, because it will be too many numbers. It will start with the numbers with TP, which means like a temporary passport, and then the number comes. So that is something. Get a temporary passport. Make sure that you are going to use that one. Again, when it comes to the passport, the people who have exemption to get application and not have any problem are the following people. One, you must be a stateless person. If you are not a stateless person, you cannot be able to do that. By stateless person, it doesn't mean that refugees. Not all refugees are stateless people. There are very few people in this world, they are stateless. Secondly, if you are not stateless, you must be coming from a communist-controlled country. If you are coming from, let's say, Ghana, Liberia, Ethiopia, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, whatever these other countries, which there, for instance, in entire Africa, there is no any country which is a communist-controlled country. No. So you cannot get the waiver. Thirdly, you have to get either the waiver letter from the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, or the letter from the Secretary of State. If you don't have those one, you can say whatever, you'll win and you'll be denied the visa, because you did a fraud for that case. So you must have the passport. You don't have the passport, don't apply. Other question people are asking related to that: can you use a refugee passport? Last year it was impossible. I do not know exactly for this year, but to my knowledge, I don't think if refugee passport will be able to work. I'm not so sure. So that is something I want to make sure that we understand about the passport requirement.